Welcome back, guys, to Remax, episode 25, part 2. Finally press the recording button. What's up? What's up?
Morrow got Ayazuzu. Ayasun?
Ayasanu.
Exactly. That's
Is it
my
an American?
point.
Wait.
No.
He's pretty good though. He's like.
Is he?
He's at least low GM on Korea.
Hey, Kane, you got a little bit quieter.
Well, fuck you.
Okay, thank you.
Who cares about low GM, man? Like, that's the dream. That's as good as it gets, Morrow.
I have never heard of this player.
Show the groups. Show the groups.
I didn't see my group.
Yeah, I wanna see.
Did I get mixed? I think I got mixed.
You got Wellmu, Aigus, and somebody else.
I think mixed.
You got it's Max said, and you got Wellmu.
That's okay.
Who's the fourth player in my group? Show the groups. Oh, I got happy. No.
Oh, boys. Let's
Oh,
see.
no, is he a Korean? Who the fuck is this? Is he a Chinese?
No, why did they turn it off immediately? Let us stare
What
at
the
the
hell?
groups for a little bit. Oh my
It
God.
lasted, it was a 4-minute broadcast. How much do you think Clutch was paid for this?
$3 million.
I made entirely last year.
At least.
Oh, where are the groups? Is the Liquipedia up yet? WCS 2000.
Yes, it is.
I get to meet Happy in real life. Are you kidding me?
Are you excited?
I'm really excited.
That means you got to go to Europe though, buddy.
Yeah.
I think.
I won't be able to. Like I can't. There's no option. Like it's not like WCS can be like, okay, passport people, just let this guy through just this once. They can't do that. I literally
They don't
cannot
have
go
that
to
power.
Europe. Yeah.
So what's
Looks
the
like they're
poll
gonna be
group?
coming to California.
They didn't update it yet.
So maybe you should put on a graphic on the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then we can just
it got updated. Hold on, let me. There you go. And then
we'll go by the groups one by one.
Okay.
Pick our. Well, just discuss.
Yes.
Oh, I just got an image of the group.
You got it? Link.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Hit me with that dope link.
I guess we can use that image. So, Kane, Targa, Pig, Happy is the first group. Kane, how do you feel?
Good.
2 Zergs, 1 Terran?
Yeah, I feel really good.
If you can play that group, then you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, Targa and Happy, yeah, like, it would make sense if we had to go to Europe, but I can't, so
Rip.
good luck.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do something for you though. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Like play online?
It would like play in America and just switch you.
Yeah.
Because I think the thought process behind it is if there's 2 Europeans, they want to save money on flights, so it makes sense to fly 1 American to Europe than fly 2 Europeans to America. But if you can't physically go, maybe they can make an exception. I would definitely message Farside about that.
Did you tell them before?
I already told him that I can't. Like I think Cyan is watching the show anyway. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe Sion can give us a quick update on that, whether that's doable or not.
All right.
I don't know.
Yes. Anyway. So next group: Violet, Bunny, Major, Mana. That's nice.
This is a really hard group. I think Group B is going to be the group of death again.
I think Bunny gets out of that every time though.
Major's so good. He's so good.
In TVT?
In anything. I think he's just really good. I think Bunny and Major are like by far the strongest players in that group. What do you think, Morrow?
Yeah, I think that is definitely the strongest group. I'm not sure how good Violet is though.
He's shaky, I would say.
Yeah, and I think Mana is very good, at least against Terrans. So, looking so far, I think that's the best group. But
skill-wise,
like the best group so far.
Mm-hmm. All right, going to the next group. Let me set up the hotkeys. Hold on. We got this. All right, next group is Pol, TLO, Kilazer, and Jim. Kilazer's really good. I feel like this is gonna be a season to for people to know him, because people that play him know that he's fucking good, but the fans don't know yet. So they're gonna.
But I would be really worried about him offline at a LAN, because he doesn't really have that experience where Jim, TLO, and Pult are all very, very, very seasoned LAN offline players, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And although he's gotten a lot better, even though he's gotten a lot better, I would still say he's the weakest player in the group, and then plus he doesn't have a lot of offline experience. So I would never ever pick him to come out of this group, to be honest.
So how good is Calather compared to
He's GMBU.
Is he like top NA GM? Is he like top 16?
I think he was top 50 on EU.
Yeah, but doesn't really say much. Like, is he better than like QXC or Major
Yes.
or?
I think he's better than QXC.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Well, you had to beat Cats to make it to Premier, so it's not like the biggest achievement, but.
Shots fired.
Whoops. All right. Moving on to Group D: Puck, 4GG, Fire, Cake, and Sen.
So who are we picking for Group C though? I thought Pult's the strongest.
I would say Polt and Jim.
Yeah, Polton Jim.
I think TLO is the favorite in that group.
What?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I mean he looked really shaky though in the WCS qualifiers, but Holt doesn't really impress me that much anymore. I've never seen Jim play, so I can't really say Jim then. So I'm gonna go with TLO because I think he's.
Did you
I don't
mean
think
literally, or?
No, I've never seen Jim play.
No, you say, I can't say Yim. That's what you said.
It's a Swedish thing because there are J's
Yeah,
and Y's
I
mixed
know.
up.
It's a fucking yoke.
Hey,
Oh.
Jim.
Yeah, there you go.
I can't say it if I try hard enough.
Oh, sorry
Very
for
nice.
throwing you off. So yeah.
We all.
What?
I was just gonna say we make fun of yours. Well, I make fun of your speech
Yeah.
enough that I feel like you can give it to someone else.
Yeah, exactly, man. It was my time to shine. I had to jump on it. All right.
It's good. Good job.
Thank you. Group D: Puck, 4GG, Fire, Cake, and Sen. As a Zerg expert, Kane.
I would call 4GG obviously, and I don't see Puck beating Fire Cake. Like Puck is really strong. He's a good Protoss player for sure, but Fire Cake I think is quite strong against Protoss, especially Swarm host play. And Sen, obviously, he won that tournament last year. I would say he's pretty good, but I don't know how much he's playing right now. So I'd say 4GG number 1, and either Puck or Fire Cake number 2.
Okay.
I think I saw Sen in some Hearthstone tournament. By the way.
Yeah, he plays a lot of he did play a lot of Diablo as well. So I don't know how much he's practicing.
But I mean, Sen has been playing RTS for like before we were born, so he can come back in no time. So never count Sen out. Trust me on that.
Okay.
By the way, Rifkin brought to my attention that you killed Kellasser with Proxy Nexus game. You have any comments?
No, he's gotten a lot better since that game, I guess. But
All right. Maybe that was the turning point. He's like, if I lose to this fucking bullshit, I'm gonna like end myself. So I need to get better. And then ever since, he's been practicing like Rocky. All right, next group. Where is it? God damn it! All right, next group. Astria, Snoot, Uthermal, and Shigwa. Now, I just want to address something. You guys saw the intro, maybe you didn't at the beginning of the show. One of the topics was China versus Europe, and I think one of the coolest thing from this new WCS format is China versus Europe. It's something we never see because Chinese players, you know, they're stuck in China, eating their rice, and then for them to come out and show...
why would you ever say that?
What?
The eating their rice comment.
Yeah?
That's pretty racist.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
talking about Rifkin being unprofessional. Wow. Look at this guy.
All right. So anyway, so it's really nice to see the Chinese come out and just play and show their talent, show their like cheesy bullshit, show their skill. So yeah, Shigwa, Uthermal, Snoot, and Astria. Do you think Astria has a chance, Huck?
Yeah, for sure. This is a really tough group too. I feel like Snoot and Uthermal are the obvious favorites though. Like Australia's another guy that is really unproven offline. That's going to be his biggest obstacle. Jigwa's probably the weakest overall, I would say, but offline Jigwa's been around for a really long time as well, and Uthermal and Snoot are very experienced as well. So I think Snoot and Uthermal are the favorites, and it really depends if Estrella is going to be, is he, because he's been like coming up for a long time now, and he's finally actually beating decent to good players, even though Scarlet kind of threw in their match. But it all changes when it goes to LAN. There's been a ton of players that have been really good online, and then they go to LAN and they just suck. So it's hard to say, but I think it would be really hard for him to make it out of this group.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kane?
Yeah, I think that I disagree. I think Shigwa is better than Estrella, like in terms of online skill. So I think Snoot and Euthermal are still the favorites. But if Shigwa practices versus Terran a lot, I think that he can beat Euthermal too. I know because I practiced versus him a bit when I was in Korea and Taiwan, and he was pretty good back then. So I think that he does have a chance. But right now, I would say the favorites are Snoot and Euthermal.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Your group, Morrow. Group F, Showtime, Morrow. Yeah, that IA guy, and Hydra. Let's say that's a pretty tough group, because Showtime is like one of the best in Europe right now, right? In terms of Protoss.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I thought so for quite a long time. Showtime's PVT being one of the best, but I did practice a lot for my match against Bling, so I should feel confident against Protoss.
By the way, Morrow, I didn't know you were playing Zerg in WCS, because that's what they...
Oh. Congratulations on your race change, Morrow. Switching back to the old boys club.
That's weird. But, yeah.
Good job, ESL, once again.
Professional. I love it.
Mm-hmm. But so you think you can come out on this group? Or would you say like Hydra Showtime is the top two? I mean, you wouldn't say that.
I mean, I would probably say the public probably thinks Showtime and Hydra is the favorites. But, I mean, as a player, I'm pretty confident. I think I can beat both Showtime and Hydra. I have no idea who this Taiwanese guy is, so... But, I mean...
He's Chinese, I think.
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. Yeah, I think he's Taiwanese.
Well, I took notes because I had Showtime in my group. So if you're looking for another race switch and you want to play him in PvP, can help you with some notes if you're interested.
Yeah. Give me some sick proxy Oracle build. I'll change race in the countdown. You'll never see me coming.
Wait, Suppy gets Naniwa again? Is this real life? Suppy, Naniwa, Sorrel, and Haz.
What was his old group?
Suppy, Naniwa, and two more.
Like, the biggest factor...
Like, guys, are you like not gonna talk about my group if I will pass or not?
Oh, I can easily pass judgment on you.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Huck, you've always been trash talking me. Here's like your perfect opportunity to take a shit on me. Go ahead.
Okay, so the obvious favorite here is Hydra. That's like can't even argue against that. But I don't know how good his. Well, I was gonna say ZVZ, but Morrow's not Zerg, so that doesn't really even matter. Pretty sure he's gonna smash on this other guy. I don't know. See, like a lot of people from Europe say that Showtime's like really good and maybe one of the best Protosses. But when I watch replays, because I did study him, he didn't seem that impressive to me. I think you have a pretty good chance. I think it's between you and Showtime for second place, obviously. But I think you have a pretty good chance. It also depends a lot on how the groups play out as far as like who you play first. And then, because if you play the last guy first, I am Zunu. I would assume that's the best case scenario, And if you play him, you have a pretty good shot because you'll have two chances basically at beating Showtime or whatever.
Okay. All right. That settles it then. Suppy, Naniwa, Sorrel, Haz. Naniwa, Sorrel, Kane?
Wait. I need to look at the group. Sorry, one sec.
Okay.
Okay, so I think that... No, I would say Naniwa Haas. I think,
really?
Yeah, Haas is like top 30 Korean GM. Yeah, he's like really, really good. I know everybody thinks that he's really cheesy and shit, and he is.
Yeah.
But he knows how to do it. He is really, really strong. I lived in the same house as him. I watched him a lot, and I played against him a few times. And he's super cheesy, but he knows how to do it. And he's really high ranked on Korea as well.
Nice. All right. Huck, any final thoughts?
On that group?
Yep.
I once again didn't think Haas was that strong. I would say the two favorites are Naniwa and Serral. I think Serral's been playing like insanely good lately, and I think Naniwa is really good at preparing for opponents.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to do really good in like this kind of setup. But a lot of like it would be nice to know who plays who first in these groups, you know, because that's a really big factor too. It gives like a pretty good percentage chance of making it out or losing, depending on who you play first and second or whatever.
Man, ESL can't get anything right, man.
Well, I mean, they didn't announce it last time either. So, I mean, it just came out. It would just be nice if they mentioned it.
Mm-hmm. All right, last group but not least, HuK, Wellmoo, Maxed, and Higiz. Damn.
Yeah, I think it depends on how much Wellmoo's been practicing and playing. I don't think he has been playing very much. I think Maxed is like the heavy favorite to come out as #1.
Mm-hmm.
And especially because like I know that he'll probably be practicing with Jim PvP, because yeah. So I think that Maxed and either HuK or Wellmoo, depending on who has better PvP.
Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see a clash of style. You know, China versus Europe versus NA in terms of PvP. Mo, do you believe in Higiz here?
No, I never did.
Oh, rip. And HuK, your thoughts on your group?
I like my group a lot. I think I have a really strong chance of making it out. PvP's always been my strongest matchup. I don't know. I think Wellmoo is harder than Maxed, but I guess we'll see. I don't know. I definitely want to discuss though who was the biggest winner out of the redraw and who was the biggest loser as far as like groups compared to groups.
Who got fucked and who
I feel like happy no matter what is really happy, and I think
do you have a link to the old groups?
Yes, I will link to the old groups in
okay.
chat.
Nice. Look at you
So this
being
is
a
the
good
old
co-host.
groups. An official announcement from WCS, all the Chinese players will go to the US. So if you have a Chinese player in your group, you will be playing in the US.
Well, Kane, you have a Chinese player. No,
No,
that was in
I
the old
did in
group.
the old group.
Well,
I mean,
guess it's not that
I
funny, but
just talked to Sion and he said that he was going to talk to the esports team about it. So
nice.
Oh, this guy is apparently Chinese, so I will also play in America.
The land of
Yeah.
the free. Are you excited to come over here, Mo?
I like America, it's just travel is fucking annoying.
Yeah.
It's
Pain in the ass. Yeah.
yeah, I think Happy and Serral are both really happy about the redraw.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I think Serral's group is still pretty difficult. I think Happy
Yes.
is the biggest winner by far.
Yeah.
There's no.
I agree.
There's no way for me to show it on stream, guys. There's like, we would have had to prepare this with like.
Who do you think is the biggest loser? Maybe Violet or Mana? Mana had Major, Targa, and Puck, and now he's in the hardest group.
Yes.
And Puck, same, or no, Violet, who did Violet have? Violet had Mixed, TLO, Morrow. Maybe Puck's the biggest winner, or biggest loser here? Or Mana? Fuck, sorry. Keep mixing them
Mana,
up.
or I think Puck had like pretty equal groups before and after, I would say.
So I think it's Mana.
Let's see, man.
Mana went from mediocre group to the hardest group.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
There's no big group of death this time though, which is nice. As long as 4GG and Pult don't line up, you know, it seems like the groups are more balanced this time, which is nice, I guess.
Rigged.
Yeah, I will definitely have to study the Chinese players because I have no idea how good they are.
There's not going to
do
be.
you
There's not
guys
going to be
like
much
know
for
how
you to
good
study.
they are? 'Cause,
Yeah, yeah. Like there's not going to be much for you to
okay.
study from.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that sucks.
Yep. It really
So
does.
what's your guess? Are they like same level as us or
Well,
better?
the game,
worse?
the Korean server, they're like pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Some-
I think
some-
I want to talk about. I think it's really unfair that the the Chinese people get to play in our WCS. I think it's really unfair because they practice on the Korean server.
Yeah,
No
well,
thought?
I mean, the thing is, there's like only so much money fucking Blizzard can throw out the window to make this work, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's okay. It brings diversity.
It's not even that it's unfair. I just don't see a logical way they could group China with something else, you know, because the end goal is always BlizzCon, right? And they always want to get a certain number of players from each region. So how would they handle China? They can't like take like all the money they put into WCS, EU, and America, and then also throw it into China. It's too expensive.
Couldn't they
You know?
just like to give them 2 spots into from China and just put them in Korea?
Well, the WCS
It's
point
a-
system makes it like impossible.
Why?
Well, not only that, but it's the system that is used in Korea. You know, everything is played offline at studio, so they
Yeah,
would
but that's the
basically have to.
qualifier. There's a qualifier for Korea. When they are in Challenger League, they can, travel to Korea and play their Challenger match.
Yeah.
That would
But
just make so much more sense to me.
I
If
don't know.
they practice on the Korean server. It's like unfair this time again. If I could just practice on Korean server all day long, like I would have no excuse for losing.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Morrow. It would be nice if they had like 4 spots that would just merge into GSL and SSL rather than being put into the big bowl of NA and EU. And I guess to some extent you can also include C. Having their own region is a little bit weird to be merged with us. Because that could be added into GSL and SSL too, and the flight.
Let's be realistic though. When C gets added to GSL, it's like
What?
free wins for GSL.
Well, yeah, but why with us, man? They're on the other part of the world. Mo makes sense. I agree with Mo. Kane, do you agree with Huck or do you agree with us?
I don't know. I'm neutral.
What? No, you can't.
I-
You don't come on a talk show to be neutral, my man. You have to make a decision.
I'm not disagreeing that it's unfair that they get to practice on Korea server. I'm just saying logistically there's no easy solution, you know? Either way it's going to be complicated.
Maybe they should just have their own like WCS China, like play in their backyard and give them $1,000, call it a day. What do you think?
This is like the
Fuck, man,
ultimate
like-
first world, like foreigners against the world, like fuck everybody else section
Yeah,
here.
man. I haven't noticed China in some years. I can do without them. No, I don't mean that. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it would have been nicer if they could put them in Korean system somehow.
Yeah. Well, the benefit of having it right now is that it's probably their only chance at making it to BlizzCon. Like, if they were put into GSL, SSL, they'd just be, like, bottom of the barrel. But now they have, like, a realistic chance at BlizzCon, which is nice for them. But, I don't think there's, like, a perfect solution here. And I think the diversity of China versus Europe is a good enough selling point to keep them. But that was an interesting take on things, Mo. Thank you for that.
Overall, though, I feel like despite everything we said before the redraw, no one got really fucked that hard. Like, the worst case is, like, someone who's, like, 4GG Polt, and then it's, like, I don't know, it can't be Hydra, but, like, say 4GG Polt, Cyril, and then, like, Sen or something. Like, that group would have been fucking ridiculous. But luckily, it didn't draw out that way, and it came out pretty even, so redraw is not so bad. Hopefully next time there is no redraw, but yeah, all the same.
Yeah. You want to talk about IEM Taipei? You didn't seem so hyped into it, man.
I mean, no, it's fine. We can talk about it. I just don't know what we're discussing besides the fact that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, okay. Hold on. So IEM Taipei is happening tonight, actually. It's always weird whenever they have a tournament in Asia because it starts at 10 a.m., which is 10 p.m. for the East Coast, 4 a.m. for the Europeans. Let me pull up. We'll just talk about. We're not gonna go like step by step or group, just like favorites, the storylines, and all that jazz. Right, here's the link. Here's the thing. Okay, so Okay, so the players that qualify, we have Harston, who showed up because Cass couldn't attend. Classic San, Pole qualified. Morrow, 4GG, Hydro, and Sen. The 4 wildcard invites: Hero, Parting, Rain, Life. And for the qualifiers, there's just a bunch of Koreans: Solki, True, Linux, Askri, Impact, Yan, Check, Revival, Dongrigu, Yan, Snoot. Oh, Snoot's going to Taipei. That's cool. Patience, Daisy, Haz, Hero, Chakchi. I thought Flash was going to attend.
He's been slumping lately. They got Pro League too. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. When you're slumping as much as he is, it doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. So it seems like a lot of good players.
Are you kidding me? This seems insane compared to like San Jose, where we had like half the people forfeit, and we had like foreigners in the open bracket finals to make it in, me versus Puck. This is crazy.
Stacked. Rip foreigners, in other words. Like, there's no way. I don't even see Snoot getting out of the open bracket.
Even Snoot has to go through open bracket, which is insanely tough.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
He doesn't have the hardest bracket though.
Yeah. I was gonna say Snoot definitely has the easier of the two brackets. I think it's doable for Snoot, but the first bracket is a lot harder. But then then you got to make it out of groups, which is gonna be just as ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
when are they gonna stop seeding on the wild cards? It's because they're doing wild card seeds based on last year's WCS points, right?
But a wild card, you have to pay your way, so they probably go down a list of people. Yeah,
but that's what I'm asking. The question is, yes or no, do they go by last year's WCS points? I believe it's a yes. And if that's true, then at what point do they... Because they just started doing that last year is my point. They started going by WCS points on deciding who gets invites and who doesn't. So because the new year started now, and we're on like a new year, so at what point do they stop going by that system of last year? You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or do they always just proceed to the year before, and then it's like the MLG tournaments where Jeff was getting like top 8 every MLG just because pool play?
I think it's going to take a while before I think they're going to wait until next season to use 2015 points, you know? This is like basically the last one. Like Katowice has 2 invites based on points, I assume. So I guess they'll use the new point system for their next series of tournament. To answer your question, but yeah, favorites of this tournament, man. What Life's the big favorite. We can take him down because it seems like every Protoss always has a really good PVZ win rate, but always loses to Life. Or
can you link the page?
Yes. It's in the Google
I'll link
Doc.
it.
Okay, no.
Because Life just like all ins them, and I don't know. He has like the sickest all ins, and he has the best micro. And like, sure, the Protoss might have a really good PVZ win rate, but chances are that's in the mid game or late game, and Life just wins in the early game half the time. So
I think it's so hard to call anybody being the favorite just because it's so fucking stacked. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Like, I would have to wait to see who makes it to the single bracket and then start picking, like, okay, on matchups and, like, their history of playing each other and their stylistic thing. Because even at this point, you're looking, just from the 3 people in the group, like, Morrow, Hydra, Parting, it's like, all of those players are insanely strong. 4GG, San, Life. Like, maybe you would say Life, maybe you would say 4GG, probably not San, but then you're still waiting for the 4th player from the open bracket who could be, like, Lenok, or could be...
Yeah.
True, it could be like fucking anybody. So it's like until they get to the round of 8 bracket, I just think it's way too hard to call a favorite.
I didn't even know about this tournament. It's so soon too.
But I
this is
think
gonna
that
be thick.
you can call favorites to go to the single elimination stage. Like, you could call Life a favorite for sure, I would say right now, to get to that stage. And you could call like Rain a favorite, I would say. And probably Maru.
I don't know. Even then, it seems like it would be really hard. Because, like, imagine in Life's group, you know, one of those really hard players get in it. And then I don't know. And then who's playing who first? Is it? Oh, it's 4GG versus Life first. So San would probably get the easier player. Wow, this is crazy. Maybe this is probably like the hardest IEM in like a while. It seems.
I think so.
So
But
Wasn't Toronto like? Okay, I think that.
No.
I
Yeah,
still
'cause-
feel like no matter who gets into Life's group though, he's still gonna like. It just feels like right now he's a tier above all the other
Everybody.
Koreans. Like,
I think
yeah.
Life's group is the easiest though. 4GG and Sun, if I was Life compared to like Parting, Idra, Morrow, Rain, Classic, Hero, CJ Hero, I'd be like, holy shit, I have a really good group, you know.
I don't. I think it's a problem, especially to StarCraft 2. Whenever you have an IEM that's in Asia, you automatically, because like if there's an IEM in New York or there's an IEM in Europe, a lot of the Korean players and the Taiwanese and Chinese players are not going to go because it's too long travel, it costs too much money. They got Pro League, GSL, SSL to prepare for. But when it's in Taiwan and it's that close, it's like it's just going to be it's always going to be a super stacked tournament. Because even I had the option to go as an American player to this tournament, and I was like, it just doesn't make sense. WCS is going to be coming up. I could be at home practicing, watching the VODs. Like, realistically, even if I played insanely good in the open bracket, even if I made it out of the open bracket, which is like less than a 10% chance probably, you're going into a group, you're probably not going to make it out, and then you're just there for like 3 or 4 days doing nothing. So I think anytime an IEM is going to have an Asian event for StarCraft 2, it's just going to be like this. It's going to be ridiculously strong, which is good and bad in the ways I mentioned.
Yeah. All right. I think that covers everything. We're gonna do a Patreon. Patreon. Someone told me on Reddit the way to say it is it's pay and then it's a tree and then it's on. So Patreon, Colin, if you guys don't know about our Patreon page, we're just, you can support the show. We'll do a bunch of cool stuff. You can come do call-ins. And we're also going to have, there's like a little scrolling text with all the names of the Patreon for later when we do the shoutouts. So anyway, whoops. So anyway, let's get to it. I'm going to, actually, we'll answer a question from Reddit first. Because, yeah. All right.
Did you want me to do this?
Well, I'll give you a question, I guess, if there's a. All right, take this take this question first. I'll paste it to you.
Okay. I'm waiting, Boo.
Yeah, here. I'm your Boo. Nice. Go on.
Okay. KW3LYK asks, without a solution being developed by Blizzard, what steps can tournament organizers realistically take to ensure that online qualifiers or cups are not compromised by hackers? We're going to go to Morrow with this question first. Go ahead, Morrow.
Well, there's a couple of things they already do. Is stuff like stream delay, and you can force busy mode and don't let friends send you messages, or only let friends send you messages. Settings.
No.
That, but,
this is about hackers, not stream cheaters, like map hackers or whatever.
How is I don't think tournament organizers really can. They're like, to some lengths they can stop cheating, but not completely, since it is an online qualifier. Yes, so they can't really stop stream cheaters. Like, they can, if there's someone accusing someone else, then they can hold that round and basically analyze the replay. And they already do things like this. If someone reports someone for cheating, of course they're gonna investigate and put the hold on the tournament for at least a while and see if they can do something. But it's not like they can stop cheating, of course.
Okay.
That's not it.
I regret asking you first. Kane, next.
Okay.
Look at Morrow's face. Morrow.
What did I say wrong? Did I not understand the question?
I think I don't know. There's not a lot. Like, if somebody chooses to hack, and if they have a brain about it, there's not much that tournament organizers themselves can do.
That's what I said.
Like, there's really not much that tournament organizers can do. What can they do? They can't. Even if like 5 people say, "Oh yeah, this guy's hacking," if like you can go through the replay, but you're still only making you're making an informed decision, but it still might not be 100% confirmed, right? So I think people like Farside, they just have to be very wary of any accusations. They have to take their time going through replays. They have to recognize the signs of map hacking, the signs of cheating, and they have to be really decisive about what they're going to do in a situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
Huck doesn't agree with you, right?
No. I was just kidding. I agree with what you guys said. I think the biggest and shitty part of this deal is that whenever someone unknown, like the famous Warren beating the famous desRow match, when you get a when you get a no name or like a relatively less known player beating someone that's more known, or even at like a higher degree, like imagine I don't know, it's just some random GM EU player beat Naniwa or something. You know, it's going to be a lot more prone to scrutiny as far as like whether they map hacked or cheated in some way. So it's such a fucking hard thing because there's no definitive proof that you can get unless they like admit that they hack. You're always going to be reviewing replays and like, wow, he just moved his units there when the drop was coming in. Like how much of that is proof? And you would need obviously proof beyond a reasonable doubt, I guess, or you know, a high percentage. So it's a very shitty situation to do it that way. desRow, do you have any comments?
So actually, last night I was playing in the base trade safety net qualifier, and and Peely, that Russian Protoss guy, he played a guy named Bob Ross, who's top 16 GM on NA, and has a lot of rumors around him for being a map hacker. So I was asked to review the replay with the admin, and it was so fucking obvious, man. It's okay. Say it's 2 base versus 2 base, right? And Peely was opening just Robo versus Robo. All right, he opened with Blink but didn't use it. But anyway, the other guy, like, he does like a Stalker Mothership Core expand, like very greedy, always has the advantage. He's about to attack Peely. Peely has fucking 8 units, like an Immortal, 3 Zealots, 3 Stalkers, a Mothership Core, right? Sitting at his natural. He fucking proxied 4 Stargates and he's banking Void Rays. You have Bob Ross, fucking 4 Immortals, Charge Lots, 4 Archons. He scouts with Hallucination the army, and he doesn't move in. And he keeps waiting for more Archons, and eventually he sends an Hallucination right next to where the Void Rays are, and then he engages. Like, fucking how obvious can you get? So, to go back to the question, I just think it's really tricky. It's something that needs to be done. I think if Blizzard cannot get rid of map hack with the way StarCraft is right now, I think you should have someone like on the spot qualified to like have someone ready from Blizzard, or have like a pro gamer or pro gamer or caster ready to make a call, you know, because you can't let a map hacker, someone that's being like you can't, let's say like a map hacker beats someone in round 1, you can't let him go until round 4 before you do something, you know. It needs to be done quick. And so until the way StarCraft 2 is designed, where map hackers are harder to detect, they need to be quick with their actions.
All right, riveting story by desRow. Thank you for your comments. We're going to also move forward. Someone wrote in chat, and it was posted by Kane. iVoteKick says, you can force everyone to run a client since it's not Blizzard's tournament. It's what every FPS game has done, blah, 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 blah. He says it's very easy to do, and coders can do something like that. It's something that it's happened before in other games that I've played as well. It's definitely something that can happen, but I feel like it has to be okayed by Blizzard for this to happen, because although it's not Blizzard's direct tournament, as in it's not WCS tournament, all of it is still Blizzard's tournament. Like anything that has StarCraft 2 that is basically like a certain amount of money or higher, 10K, I don't remember what the number is, Blizzard is seen as a partner of that tournament no matter what. So the bottom line is that anything that's above, you know, anything that's going to be like a major or minor tournament is going to have to get some kind of approval from Blizzard. Whether Blizzard would actually ever approve something like that is a really big, complicated answer, as far as like, because as soon as they say like, okay, we're going to allow this, then they basically are setting a standard for all future games, whether it be Blizz Heroes or Overwatch or whatever. And like, let's say 5 years from now there's hacks in Overwatch, they're going to say, well, they said it was okay for StarCraft 2. Why are you not allowing it now? So I don't know what the political answer would be from Blizzard, but I'll ask and see if we can get answers later on.
Okay, cool. All right, it's time for the Patreon call-in. We'll get him in the Skype group. He's got a question. Let's hear him out. Morrow, don't be like that, man. I swear the question is going to be good.
What?
I don't know. You sighed.
You sighed. You were like, he said we're gonna do a Patreon call-in. You're like,
no, I didn't. I'm excited, man. Patreon call, yeah. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
I can't even breathe with my mouth, with my nose.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Filthy.
oh, he's got a Protoss icon for his Skype picture. I'm already liking this guy.
Yes, it's okay. Hey,
Hello?
what's up, buddy? How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. What's your question?
So I had a pretty open-ended question. Kind of wanted to, maybe you guys could tell like a cool story or something interesting that happened in the early StarCraft days. So like, HuK going to Korea and being in the OGS house, I'm sure something cool, something interesting happened. Morrow's been around for a long time as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to say I'm a huge HuK fan.
All right.
Oh yeah, I like you even more now.
Nice. All right, go for it. Like, what's your funny moment?
Oh, there's so many. Should I tell the story about when we went to barbecue, desRow, and there was an incident with the bench?
What? Oh, was there?
Do you know?
Oh, I really. What about it? I didn't
No,
really,
okay.
What?
Let's move on. Let's move on.
No. I mean,
if
you want to say it, say it. I didn't realize there was an incident. I know it was tight, but
I have a better one.
okay,
this is a long story. Do you guys mind? I don't know if you guys heard this. I'm sure Morrow's heard stories, but I don't know if Kane has or not.
Go for it.
Okay. Chat, be ready. Okay. So we used to live in the OGS house. Huh?
No.
What'd you say? You're gonna interrupt my story already, Morrow?
I just said the resident sleeper, but go ahead.
Okay. So I was in the OGS house, obviously living there. I just been there for maybe I don't know a few months, and we lived in a pretty small room. I want to say most of the bedrooms were like very military. They had bunk beds set up, and each bunk bed was very close to another bunk bed. You could when you climbed up to the bunk bed, your butt was touching the other bunk bed. That's how like crammed tight it was. So Jinro used to have night terrors. I'm sure a lot of players in StarCraft 2 have heard about this and about Jonathan. But so we got this new player, a young kid named Illusion. So he's OGS Illusion. He's like 14, 15, Korean, like really baby face, kind of young guy, right? So we already started messing with him at like lunch and dinner. He's coming into the new team house. He's really, kind of nervous and anxious. He's never been in a team house before. So we're eating lunch, and Hater has like this stare. Hey Pro, he sometimes like just zones out when he's like eating or thinking or something, and he just looks into the distance, right? And he doesn't move, right? And he was kind of doing this in the direction of Illusion, right? So I just whispered to Illusion, I was like, he likes you. And I'm like, he's gay, you know that, right? And Illusion was already getting like really freaked out, especially in Korea. They're like already very, very homophobic, right? So this Illusion kid, he's in a new team house. He's already getting messed with like by a little bit by the foreigners. Korean guys are giving him a little shit too. And then they tell him, okay, you're gonna sleep in the foreigner room. So there's 3 bunk beds, a foreigner room, right? I'm on top of one, Hater's on top of one, Jinro's on top of one. Below me is a Korean, below Hater's a Korean. The only open spot is below Jonathan, right? Mm-hmm. So he had heard stories already about Jonathan's night terrors and stuff, but the way they describe it in Korean is like he has a demon or something, right? They don't say like night terrors. They're like he has a possession issue or something, right? It just doesn't translate the same way. So this guy, this young Illusion kid, he comes in to the OGS bedroom. He goes to sleep. Everything's normal. Jonathan wakes up, has his night terror. But when he has a night terror, I can't describe the scream. It's like you're literally being stabbed or you're being killed, and that's the scream he makes. It's literally blood-curdling, like, cannot be helped. Like, you hear it the first time, and you literally wake up scared someone's dying. That's the scream, right? I couldn't mimic it if I wanted to, right? So Illusion's down there, right? He's holding his blanket. Jonathan wakes up, Me, Hater, everybody else, we know what the fuck's going on. We've been used to it. It's happened like every week since we've been there. So we wake up scared and then we're like, oh, it's just Jonathan. No worry, right? But Illusion, he's fucking terrified, right? So he's holding his blanket. He's just really scared. But Jonathan also moves and shit. Like he kicks out windows. That's happened before. He does all this crazy shit, right? So Jonathan wakes up, kicks the roof or something, and then gets scared from like kicking the roof or something. He rolls off the bunk bed, right? So he comes down. Boom, face first, hits the ground right next to Illusion's bed, right? So now the screaming started up there, and he's and then he falls off the bed after a big bang kicking the roof, right? Smacks on the floor face first, and now he's in pain. On top of having the night terror, he woke up, has no idea what happened, fell off the bed, flying through the air, hits his face, so he starts screaming, and now the screaming's right next to Illusion, right next to his bed. He's like, ah, ah. So Illusion starts screaming too, because he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, right? He's like, ah, 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 ah. And Jonathan, they go back and forth screaming louder and louder at each other. And yeah, that's the story. Basically, the next day, Illusion changed rooms to one of the Korean rooms.
That's hilarious.
End of story.
Yeah. Poor kid, man. You fucking scared him. What about you, Morrow? Anything funny from the old days?
Man, I'm not really a storyteller. I guess I could say something from the Brommahus. Yeah, we had the house we had in here in Bromma with all those Swedish pros. I think
Morrow,
that was back,
and TLO, right?
yeah, and TLO exactly. So back in 2011, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm a terrible storyteller, by the way. So what we used to do, you know, with the dishes, because it was always like so fucking much problems with the dishes. So like everyone is grown up and all that, but we're all lazy pro gamers. So what we decided to do was to play. We played like hide and seek instead. So we were like 12 people or so, grown men hiding in a house. So we started like on the outside, and then Naugrim had to like look for everyone. So that was really fucking hilarious. But that's pretty much the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have gone. but trust me, like during the time I was living in that house was like the best time of my life. Like every day there was something new. We had so much fun all the time.
What about you?
So much stuff.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kane? Any funny stories from Taiwan or My Insanity that's like old?
Probably not that are appropriate for stream.
Right.
Most of the stories involved with me and A-Bomb living in the MYI house are pretty inappropriate. So maybe I'll save those for another day or a private stream or something like that.
Okay. I didn't know you do private stream. That's nice. I'm sure your female
like,
audience is happy.
Yeah, my own stream, I mean.
Okay. So for me, it was back in Korea. You know, I was so happy and everything. I just got there. It's like 3 weeks in or 2 weeks in, and then Todd. You know, Todd's a grumpy motherfucker. Like no matter what you do, there's always a chance that Todd's gonna be angry at you for one thing or another. And then it came to a point where I was so new. I didn't know how to go eat by myself to the Korean places, and so Todd came up with this idea of if I wouldn't talk for an entire day, for 24 hours, he would take me out to the Korean barbecue. So I did it, and then it was people abused of me. They're like, he can't talk back. So it wasn't the nicest. You know, that was a very cheap $7 for my dignity. But fucking Todd. So yeah, that was it. Thank you, Marco, for coming on and being a supporter. And do you have any final words?
Well, thank you for taking my call. Just a little quick question for Huck. How many times have you been consecutively in Premier League now?
7 times, I think, as much as it's been open. I like it. You're like self-promoting for me.
Exactly.
I like these questions.
Sure
How many times have you been an MLG champion next week on Remax? Thank you.
I was actually at the MLG in Orlando 2011 when you beat MC. I was there live. It was awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Talk to you
thank
later.
you. Take care. All right, so guys, if you wanna be, if you wanna call in like this guy, all you have to do is support the show for a mere $10 a month. All right, enough shameless advertising. The questions on Reddit. Let's get to it. Okay, so we covered IEM. We covered hackers. Oh yeah, so someone's asking what's going on with the rule book and the schedule. This season just seems so unprepared compared to previous ones. Like they forgot this was still going to happen. Actually, I was messaged during the show by someone from WCS, and they said that it's not an easy situation dealing with so many different people from the part of the world, China, Europe. So they have their heart into it. I'd like to think, and hopefully, season 2 and season 3 is going to be very smooth sailing with no hiccups. So yeah, moving on to the next question. For Huck, do you think StarCraft 2 so far has been a farce because all the good Grey Goo players don't play StarCraft seriously? Why did I ask that? Sometimes I read before yeah.
It's a troll question.
Yes.
Do you want me to answer it? What the fuck are you waiting for?
Alright, question for Mo. When are you going to balance the micro tournament map?
The balance is fine, guys.
David Kim himself.
Trust me. No, but I don't. I wish I had more time, but I'm busy with streaming and pro gaming and all that. There's like no incentive for map makers. It's really fucking sad.
Yeah.
They're doing a TL map contest soon.
Yeah, but I don't think I can put my micro map in there.
Oh, so you mean
like
you mean custom and you use map settings? Maps?
No,
like arcade maps?
I don't think they're doing a competition for that. But even those, it's like there's no. Yeah, we don't get paid at all, or we get no attention, no appreciation. It just really sucks being a map maker in StarCraft 2. Making maps in StarCraft 2 is so much harder than Warcraft 3 and Brood War. So I think
the
all
Warcraft 3 maps were so good too. I missed all the
so
Warcraft
much
3.
better. It's because the editor wasn't so complicated and stuff like that. So I'm excited for this. They're putting in the models from Warcraft 3.
Warcraft 3,
so I hope I hope they put in like the actual data too, so like the champions and stuff. So that should push a lot of new like custom maps with hero defense and all that bullshit. Because right now it's a disaster to make maps in StarCraft 2.
Actually, I was gonna ask this question. Should I be a bitter asshole? So there's a guy that's asking a decent question, but he's the guy that like when we had our falling out, he's the guy that posted it on Reddit, that motherfucker. Yeah, but this question is decent. Should I be a bitter asshole and then ask it?
I think you should ask it. I think you should be unbiased as possible as a host of a show.
Alright, for the greater good of the community, I'll take the bullet. Fuck that guy though. Alright, in the previous episode, you said that you and Naniwa used to be close friends. Any good stories you can tell us about the past HuK Naniwa friendship era?
I don't know. We just got along. We were like the two token Korean guys. Well, two foreigners in Korea that are doing pretty well at the time. We were both Protoss. We went to a lot of the same tournaments. We hung out at events. I don't know. There's no real special stories, I guess. We were just pretty good friends, I guess. It's like when you're in Korea, whoever the other white people are there, even if you were like not best of friends or even friendly with them, if you ever have a chance to meet up with them or hang out with them, it's like you're naturally going to grow closer, I feel.
I don't know. When I saw other white people in Korea, I was like, they're breaking my experience.
No. Like gamers.
Oh, yeah.
Not like like if I saw another random white person like on the street, and I imagine this is what it feels like for some people in other countries, but like as a white person, you never really feel that like, I don't know, exclusion from society as far as being like one of the few types of race in that country. And in Korea, I got that effect, right? So if I saw like another like white guy, right, walking on the street, which is like a very rare occurrence, maybe like once every like 6 months to a year or something, I'd be like, fuck, I just want that guy to go away. Like, I want to be the special snowflake. I don't want these English teaching army white guys interfering with my white guy experience in Korea. So I would just like I always thought maybe they would like see me from across the street and like give me like a thumbs up, like good job white guy, keep going or something. I would just ignore them, like I'm better than you. It's kind of snobby and shit, but that's all. I always just wanted to be that the token white guy.
Like I had something to add to that, but I forgot. Rip. Alright, moving on. How do you guys feel about the current WCS qualifier challenger format? Is it too easy to get knocked out by a single player that has your number, so to speak? Do you think a double elimination qualifier into GSL or round robin style group would ensure that the best players ended up in Premier? I think that's very obvious. The answer is yes. For me, I think challenger best of 5, putting everything on the line is a lot more exciting to watch. Like I think the GSL group is used by everyone. Like it's used by IEM, it's used by SC2Remax, it's used by WCS. I find it a very repetitive, boring tournament format at this point. But from you guys play more than I do, I guess. So Kane, what are your thoughts on that question?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think that it's like putting everything on the line, and if you happen to get a really hard opponent, or even somebody that like you have a mental block against, you're just fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in like a GSL group, you have 2 other players that might not be as hard. It just eliminates some of the randomness to it. So I think that's obviously the better way to do it. I don't know if there's time to do it. I don't know the logistics of it all, but that is like objectively, I would say the better way to do it to eliminate some of the randomness factor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Morrow?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Kane. Challenger, just a single best of 5. It doesn't even feel like Challenger League. It still feels like a qualifier match for Premier. It doesn't feel like its own league. Playing against one guy, it just sucks.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Huck?
Pretty much exactly what Kane said. I talked to some Blizzard Esports people about this, actually. The biggest doing a more consistent, fair-based system of getting into Premier. Like, I suggested, obviously, that if you do groups or you do double elimination or something, it's going to be, less chancy, and it's going to be more based on overall skill than anything else. The problem with that is there's just there would be a lot more games, and it'd be a lot more of a hassle to schedule everybody, the normal things. You getting yelled at there, desRow, by mommy? Or what? Rip desRow. All right, desRow.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I had this thing to do, and all right. So,
oh, I guess I'm done then.
What was your what?
I was just saying. Yeah, I'll just continue. I was just saying that it's it would be fair, but at the same time I feel like the way they're doing it now is going to be a lot better in some ways. Like you would never see the Naniwa versus Nurchio hype as much as it was in the different format. It's still more special to create rivalries and to create storylines through best of 5, especially if we're going to see the same people qualifying. So let's say like I beat State this time, and then State makes it next time, and he has to play someone else, or we got to replay, or whatever it may be. There's a lot of storylines and rivalries that could come from the current system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's an excellent point, actually. I didn't even think about that.
Thank you, Morrow.
What? That's kind of what I said to begin with. Like.
No. Come on, desRow. Don't steal my thunder.
It's you stole my thunder. All right. What? Oh, if you were in a group like Kane was, in which you would have needed to compete versus one race, would you mind that a group? What? No. Okay. I'm gonna change this question. What do you guys think about having only one race to practice with in a group? Let's say you're like Protoss and you have to play 3 series or whatever. You think that's good or bad?
I don't like it very much. Like, it's easier to prepare for, but at the same time, like, if you play one match and all of your other opponents can see how you play, like in this GSL style group,
Mm-hmm.
you play your one match, and then you have to prepare like a bunch of different builds for the same matchup. You can't really have like a standard, really, or it has to be a really, really strong style of standard, or else you're just going to get fucked by people that can adapt to your style.
Mm-hmm. For Morrow, are you a real pro gamer?
Yeah, I'm a real pro gamer.
Jesus,
Who
desRow.
asked that? Was it Naniwa?
desRow wrote that question.
It was 3D GLaDOS. It was 3D GLaDOS.
I can't believe someone would, not know that,
It's gonna be our next call-in next week. Same question for you, Morrow. I hope you're on.
People should know. I'm a real pro gamer. Alright, let's move along here.
Yeah. For HuK, do you think it's good for the game when low-tier pros complain excessively about balance when the race they are complaining about is massively underrepresented and the skill tier they compete in and has been since 2010?
I feel like they're like specifically targeting someone with this question.
Who would that person be?
When I first heard it, I thought it was me, but then I'm not sure. I don't know. I've been on the fence of this for a long time. When I first approached the balance discussion and pros voicing their concerns, I was like, man, I'm just gonna never voice my concerns because I feel like it's not appropriate for pros to voice their concerns about the game in a balanced way. And then I saw that like complaining vocally and getting the community to agree with you or go against another race or another unit or something actually has a huge impact on whether Blizzard looks at that issue or not. So then I was like, well, like if I want the issues that I think are wrong with the game to be addressed, then I guess I just have to voice my concerns because that's the only way that I see Blizzard taking attention to it. So then I started doing it. I still feel like the best case that I would prefer is Blizzard doesn't listen to pros at all or picks a very, very, very select few. And I mean like 1 to 5 people per race to listen to as far as balance issues. There's a very small group of pros that I would recommend even from other races that I could name and say like, I think this person is very fair as far as balance issues go. And I think that they will discuss it in a very mature and honest way. Because there's a lot of Terran players that I think are like unbelievably biased, and then I think there's a few Terran players that are very, very reasonable. Same thing with Protoss and same thing with Zerg. So I think pros shouldn't voice their concerns, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. This question is not so much about StarCraft, but I'd like to hear the thoughts of everyone. What are your thoughts of StarCraft 2 player going to unfinished Blizzard games? These games will without a doubt get the Blizzard Esports treatment and will get exposure. Is this a prime example of how the esports scene works? Getting a lead before anyone else can and be the world best at something without anyone playing it. Looking at you, Artosis and Crep, battling at the Hearthstone finale. Example, Kaldor, Grubby, Idra, etc. HuK, as a fan of Heroes of the Storm, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a very standard trend in esports. The earlier you get into a game, if that game blows up, the bigger you're going to be. I mean, you look at people like Artosis in Hearthstone, or you even look at the beginning of StarCraft 2 with, Tasteless and Artosis were the two white Korean casters. They were seen as the best casters because they casted the best league in the game. And they got all the money and compensation that goes with that. It's how it works in everything. Now, whether that pays off or not is a big question mark. Like if Heroes takes off, all these people that are putting in a lot of work now are obviously going to get that money back and more. But if Heroes doesn't take off, they basically wasted all their time doing this. And it's also a business decision on where you want to get in on that. Like, I think Idra, as far as a Heroes of the Storm player, is mediocre or below par, especially as a pro player. So I think it would be better for him to get into casting or something else that would, pay off better, because I think it's unrealistic that he could be a pro at the highest level if the game does do well in a year or two. But yeah, it's a normal esports thing to get into new games and hope that they take off and you're a big figure, because as the game exponentially grows, if you're already a big name, your name is going to also exponentially grow as the game does.
Okay. Morrow, Kane, anything to add?
No, I think he said it very well.
Morrow?
Mara looks like he's resident sleeping already. Shit.
No, I don't have so much. Like HuK you always putting all the questions to HuK, and he's like answering them perfectly, and
Oh, thanks, Mara.
going into all the aspects. So there's like nothing left for me to say. I can just say every question like, oh, I agree with HuK. He covered everything. Okay, next question.
All right, Morrow.
Just don't go with me. Don't go to me for questions. I'll fill in whatever they leave out at the end.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, I thought you were the most qualified to answer since you played, but yeah, I agree with what you're saying. Um, That's a good question. Hold on. How far people like Naniwa can contribute to the community by coming back to the game? You think other pros will make a comeback? Kane, your best friend Naniwa.
I'm trying to find the question here so I can read it myself.
Oh, what? What? It's on Twitter. You're not gonna find it on Reddit.
Oh, it's on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay. I was looking. Can you say it one more time? How do you think that pros like Naniwa can contribute to coming back?
Yes.
Well, I think that's pretty obvious that Naniwa's already contributed quite a bit by coming back. People seem to be a lot more hyped about the game. There's a lot more drama. He's bringing a lot of stream viewers, stuff like that. So I think it's definitely a good thing overall for the community. So yeah, I think that's all there is to it.
Okay. What about you, Morrow?
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the show. It's like super great to have these big personalities like Naniwa, or he's maybe not a personality, but a superstar. Let's call him that, because he's also a pro gamer. So just brings so much more hype about the game. And I think when Legacy of the Void strikes, there's going to be so many pro gamers, coming back. They're gonna try the game again, see like, all right, are these new units for me? Am I, doing well in this game? They're gonna try a few tournaments at least. I think the most important part they can ask themselves is like, do they like the game, and so forth. Because I think Legacy of the Void is gonna change StarCraft 2 in a very drastic way, and I think Legacy of the Void is also gonna make StarCraft so much better. So I think there will be quite a lot of pro gamers, coming back.
All right. Anything to add, Huck?
No. I think that was very well answered. I think the biggest part, if that is what Morrow said at the end, is the pro gamers coming back. Because I know for sure, like, even if Idra doesn't come back as a competitor, I think any pro that ever played StarCraft 2 at a decent level is going to come back and at least try it. It was just ridiculous. It's like I couldn't even think about not coming back. Even like I played Counter-Strike 1.6 for a while, so of course I'm going to try out Go, or any other game that you spend a decent amount of time. It's like part of your life. So I think everybody's going to come back and at least try it.
So you're going to get a StarCraft tattoo since StarCraft is part of your life?
Denied.
Hold on. Alright, someone on Twitter, so impressed with your tournament play lately, representing NA. That said HuK, by the way. What will you do to practice for WCS?
Everybody loves me on the questions. The chat doesn't love me so much, but at least the people that have the money and fucking tweet and write in the threads do. I don't know, the normal stuff. Practice. Sometimes it's really weird. Sometimes all I do is play ladder, and then sometimes I'll do a lot of specific practice. I guess it depends on the matchups and the opponents and everything. I think it would be better to do specific practice, especially since the new maps and everything, because I think you could come up with some like really interesting, like maybe like a cannon rush or something that no one's seen, or proxy this or proxy that in a special location. I'm not sure yet. I just saw my group today, so I'm gonna probably after the show think about it for a little bit and then come up with a plan. But State already said that he's willing to practice with me a lot, and he was a great PvP player when we played in Challenger, so maybe I'll ask him.
All right. Are you optimistic about Legacy of the Void? Many people leaving say that they would come back then. Do you think that this will happen?
Didn't we just answer that like a question ago, desRow?
No, but it's sort of a mix of both. Like, people saying, like Grubby saying, I'll be back for Legacy. What if he's making the big bucks in Heroes? Like,
well, I think anybody that's going to be making like a shitload of money would just stay in whatever. Like, let's say Grubby's making $200,000 a year from now from Heroes of the Storm streaming it, and it like took off and it's as big as LoL or Dota. I wouldn't even come back to StarCraft 2 with all the passion in the world.
Yeah? Okay.
Maybe I'm just different. I don't know. Morrow, how much do you value money?
Yeah, I think I think it definitely, like, the most important part is enjoying the game. Because if it was mostly about money, then I mean, we will all just gone with the normal route, get like a normal job and all that. So I think like enjoying the game is like absolutely most important. But if you get like if you like Heroes of the Storm and then like StarCraft 2 a little bit more, but you still like you still like make a shit ton of money in Heroes of the Storm, I think Grubby would just stick with that, because that game is probably gonna be alive a lot longer than StarCraft 2 is, if that game were to be successful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes more sense. He has to, think about his career and all that.
Okay, fair enough. Kane. Anything to add?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Okay, we're coming to an end, guys. Just bear with me. Thoughts on live LAN WCS qualifier, East, West, Central, Canada, to stop hackers from participating? No? Unrealistic? Too much money?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're getting used to it, desRow. I'm proud of you. You're learning slowly but surely. Your dreams are being crushed by realism.
But someone has to be a dreamer, all right?
Well, you better be a rich person before you become a dreamer, or those dreams are never going to come true.
But
those words. I'm glad my parents never told me that. Or maybe not. Who knows? Who knows what I could have been?
All right.
I should tell one of my kids that. At least one.
they're like, Daddy, I want to be an astronaut. You're like, Jimmy, you're fucking stupid. Let's be realistic here. Like, set your goals way down, Jimmy.
No, you're gonna be the rich one.
All right. So 2 last questions. All right. How WCS viewers can be satisfied if, because of time zones, it's hopeless to watch all games live? What about finals? Okay. So his question is like really hard to read, but basically. Why is the schedule for WCS so fucked up that anything casted in America starts at 3 p.m. PST, which is 6 p.m. EST, which is fucking midnight in Europe? So, how can we satisfy all the WCS viewers? Huck, hit me with the logic.
This is such a weird fucking answer. Like, the whole premise of time zones are that people will be fucking sleeping when other people are awake. There's no easy answer.
No, I think starting at 10 on the West Coast, which is 7 p.m. in Europe, is like totally realistic. And I think WCSNA not doing that is just shooting themselves in the foot in terms of viewership.
Yeah, but I don't wanna wake up at like fucking 7 a.m. or something like that, and then you got to think about all the casters and production crew that are supposed to get there at like 4 or 5 hours beforehand to do rehearsals and to set up everything and make sure the PCs are fine. And it's like, it's not only the players that have to be there. There's all this other shit that goes on around the production as well.
Yeah, but if a tree falls in the wood, but no one is there to hear it, does it make a sound?
And I'm muting myself.
Why? What? But no, but it's true. Like, you have to sacrifice your needs for the viewers.
Did you just Google a quote where you're like,
no, I know that quote.
And then you saw it, and then you just rehearsed it, and you're like, what do you think about that, Huck? And it's like, has no application, desRow, but good quote.
Does, because if there's no viewers, then no one's there to play the tournament and to produce the show.
But there are viewers.
But there's less viewers. There could be more. He's losing the argument. He's going in silent mode. All right. So we're going to get Graham, Rifkin, Rogers to come ask a question on the show.
Is he a patron?
Yeah, I want to see that $10 first, Graham. Where's my Patreon money?
He's hosted us enough that he can come on the show and ask.
I don't know.
He had a good question, man.
Let me see that PayPal money.
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hey. Hi. Wow, you guys are sure handsome. How's everybody doing?
Good. Thank you. What's your question?
So, I was tweeting about this, but like this is a real question, and you guys have like a million times more experience than I do with offline events and traveling. So, my question for this was, would it be more viable for Blizzard to like create some sort of dedicated tournament server that has the best possible, no ladder, no arcade, no BS, just for tournament play, for better latency between, say, North America and Europe. Do you think that's a viable option compared to like trying to fly 32 people around with the complications that are Kane's visa or Suppy's like life in school, etc.? Like, do you think that would be a viable possible solution to this whole mess that is the drawing and the groups and the new system?
So you would want it played online?
Yeah, but you can't do that right now because in the current state, you can't have Europe play against North America. It's never going to be fair. So what I'm saying is, like, would it be possible to invest in some sort of midway server that's perfect?
Well, the drawback to this also is the fact that they want it to be live. There's a certain level of hype that comes from live events where you can see the players at the booths playing from the studios with the commentators right there, the post-game interview, all that production stuff that Red Bull does amazingly, and ESL does, and it wouldn't be present. And there's also the factor of like online cheating. You know, there's map hacking in StarCraft 2. That's a well-known fact. There are pro gamers that hack or cheat in certain things. That is like to deny that at this point, I think would be highly unlogical and
right. But my question is more focused around the fact that like you have the Chinese players who are limited to where they can go. You've got Kane who may not even be able to show up. So what good is having a live event if 4 out of 16 people can't actually attend?
Well, that's ESL or Blizzard's fuck up. I mean, that's obvious, but the online situation is worse in a lot of ways. I mean, if they're gonna make like special exceptions for this season because they released everything late and stuff, and people didn't have enough time and no one was prepared, I personally don't care. I think it's fine, and it would be a shame for them not to, you know, have Kane play in Europe and they couldn't reschedule it to America or something. But it, like, for them to build a server specifically or like a connection just for this one season in like the next week or two,
it wouldn't just benefit them, it would benefit every tournament ever, for qualifiers, for online play, for even stuff that we do on Base Raid TV. All of a sudden, I don't have to worry about flipping a coin between North America and Europe. We can go to the dedicated between server.
I think a big part of it is just the actual logistics of it. Like, I don't know if it's possible at all to get a server that's, you know, equal on both sides. I think just how spread out North America is and how compact Europe is, I think unless like all the players in North America were on the East or West Coast or something, you'd never be able to get that good connection between the two servers. I think that's why we haven't seen that in like any other game.
Yeah. Well, you just look at Riot. Even Riot is arguably way bigger than Blizzard WCS compared to LCS. Riot still doesn't have East Coast servers for League of Legends, which is a game that's way bigger than StarCraft 2. And they still don't have East Coast servers. So then to picture them making a dedicated server in the middle of the ocean between Europe and North America for the perfect balanced ping just for online tournaments for StarCraft 2, it's like insanely unrealistic,
I think it's impossible. Yeah.
Okay, because yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of the travel costs that you guys do. I didn't really know what the feasibility of cost versus, you know, flying 32 people around the world 7 times a year versus trying to set something like that up. So that's part of the question. Just
yeah,
I don't even know if it's just cost. I think it might be like the physical impossibility of that. Like I think that there must be something in that realm that's preventing from Blizzard or Riot or a big company from doing a server like that.
Mm-hmm. Back with Boudoir, IC Cup, how did it work? Was it a server? Huck?
Yeah,
it was.
We played on server, but it was we used like Hamachi plugins, so it was basically peer-to-peer within the game. So
Yes.
I believe that like it wasn't LAN, but it was very close to it, I believe. Also, I think that both of the players had exactly the same ping whenever they played against each other, because they were always, you know, sending the information to each other and not just to a server. That's what I think that's how it was anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were playing against like a Korean, it would still be fair because both of them would lag. Whereas in StarCraft 2, it's just one guy lagging.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Rifkin, anything to add to your question?
no, just an idea I had. Well, we were all talking about the ideas.
Yes.
Had the question, got to answer. Thank you guys for having me on. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Alright, so if you want to be like Rifkin, you can support the Patreon. I'm just kidding. Alright, that wraps up the show, guys. We'll do the shoutouts and we'll be on our merry way. Kane, where can we see you next? What are you going to be up to? Are you going to be streaming? That sort of stuff.
Yeah, well, hopefully if ESL gets their shit together, you'll see me in WCS, and that'll be in a couple weeks. If not, well, fuck you, ESL. And, yeah, you can find me on Twitter at MYIKane, and I don't think I'll be streaming for any time soon. Maybe not until, like, beginning of March. If I do make it past the round of 32, it might not be until, like, April or something like that. So, yeah, Twitter, MYIKane. Go.
Alright, what about you, Morrow?
Well, thank you guys for watching, and thanks for the invite to the talk show. It was a pleasure. You can follow me on Twitter at PropMorrowBB2, and I also stream sometimes at the /Morrow on the Twitch. Also, you can cheer for me in the WCS as I did qualify for the Premier League. That's it. That's all.
Alright. What about you, Huck?
Shout out to my team for supporting me.
Yo, let's
Oh,
go!
I forgot a shout out to my team, Team Property.
Yeah.
There
and
you
our
go.
sponsors and such.
There you go.
Jesus! Alright, let's go, Chris.
What? Okay. Shout out to my team and our sponsors, of course. Shout out to my managers. Shout out to my CEO, Alex Garfield. Give me that Twitch money, please. Give me a chunk, baby, please. Shout out to Cody Connors. He used to manage EG. He's pretty cool. Shout out to, I had this friend Jamal in first grade. He's really cool. He taught me a bunch of curse words and stuff.
Oh my god.
And thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you for all the viewers that watched the show. Shout out to ESL for giving me another decently easy group, which I can play in California because I have a Chinese player. That's nice.
What about the Patreon caller? Don't you want to thank them too?
Yep. Shout out to all my fans, especially the ones that give desRow /me money, even though that guy's money should purely go to me since it's obvious he's only subscribing to Patreon because I'm on the show. We'll talk about that during our contract negotiation, desRow. I think that's it.
Alright. Well, I want to thank everyone for watching. I want to thank my sponsor, Cheers4 Gaming, Corsair, and Asus. Also, the Patreon, if you want to check it out. Just thank you to everyone for watching and leaving questions on Reddit and Twitter. It's always fun to try to read your questions and answer it. Thank you to Mo and Kane for coming on. I think it's the first time we have good race diversity. No, I don't mean the rice talk. I mean Zerg, Terran, and Protoss. For me, I'll be playing, I'll be streaming right after this because I have a base rate TV qualifier for the safety net because I didn't make it to WCS, so if you want to watch that, just stick around. And we'll be back next week with more remakes coming your way. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a good week.